Why? Why not try to...
So I have a funny story to tell about my mom's interaction with her bus driver, who's also a Maga. Before I tell you the story, I have to kind of give you a little bit of backstory about my mom, and it'll kind of explain to you how she had this interaction and the type of person she is, and it might answer some questions for you guys as to why I'm the type of person that I am. So my mom has always been a very open and honest, blunt person. Like, she's always said what she meant and meant what she said. And that has never changed. Over the years, everyone has always known that's how she's going to be. Like, if she has it in her mind, she is going to tell you. My mom is a great Christian woman who believes in empathy, who actually believes in treating people the way that they want to be treated or the way that she wants to be treated. However, she does not pull punches when it comes to telling people exactly how she feels. And again, that's how she's always been. And being that she's also 74 years old now, you know how people are as they get older. Like, they're not really down for the BS anymore. Like, they're going to tell you exactly how they feel. So you have my mom, who's always been that person on one hand, and then my mom on the other hand, being 74 years old, who was always someone who would tell you exactly what she feels like. So my mom loves taking the bus. That's how she gets around town. You know, sometimes I take her places if she wants me to, but there have been times where I've pulled up to her at a bus stop and said, "Ma, do you want to ride?" And she's like, "No, I like riding the bus." You know, she likes interacting with the bus drivers, the people on the bus and everything, even teenagers and stuff like that who get on the bus. She just enjoys that. She likes to take the bus downtown, do some shopping or whatever, come home or whatever, right? Just a little bit more about my mom. Like, my mom, one time I saw on my Ring camera the bus pulling up to my house and dropping my mom off. I was like, "Ma, how's the bus pulling up to the house?" She's like, "Oh, the bus takes me wherever I want to go." Like, I tell them, I'm not getting off at this bus stop. I live right around the corner. Take me to my house and stuff. So, like, that's just how she is. I'm like, only my mom is going to tell a bus driver, "No, you're going to reroute this bus and bring me to my house," you know? And a lot of times, because we live in kind of a small town, she's the only person on the bus. So she's, having the conversations with the bus driver. They absolutely love her because everyone has always loved my mom. People gravitate to her. She's just a good person that you want to be around. Like, she's that person. She'll get on a plane. She'll talk to the person next to her for the duration of the plane ride. And by the end of it, they've exchanged numbers. They're going on vacation together. They know everything about each other. Like, that's just my mom, right? So there's this bus driver who I thought, like, I always think when my mom's telling me stories about bus drivers that they're always, somewhere closer to her age than my age, and so she's telling me this story about this bus driver where they're talking about the election, right? And she's like, "I'm voting for," and this bus driver saying, "I'm voting for Trump. I'm voting for Trump," and everything. And my mom's like, "Why are you voting for him? He's a liar," and this and that, right? And the guy's like, No, he's going to stop all these millions of dollars we're sending overseas to pay for people's condoms. Yeah. Yes. So again, I'm thinking this guy's got to be 60s, 70s, maybe doesn't understand the internet very well, just kind of like, read some stuff and everything. No, dude's in his mid to late 30s. And my mom is like, yeah, he fell for this stuff online about like millions of dollars going to condoms. And to think that was the thing that made him say, "I'm voting for Trump," because he fell for we're wasting all of our money on stuff overseas when we should be America first, right? So my mom's telling the guy, this is dumb of you. Like, you shouldn't be voting for this guy for that because he's a liar. He's lying to you, right? So then fast forward to about a month or two into Trump's presidency. My mom gets on the bus. She's like, "Hi, what do you think of your president now?" Right? And the guy's like, "Oh, I love him." And my mom's like, "Well, why do you love him?" Because, she wants to know what do you love about him in this first 2 months? And in typical Maga fashion, he just says, "Oh, everything about him," because they never know. They typically just are like, "We own the libs and that's why I voted for him. So I'm good with it." Right? So my mom tells me yesterday, she tells me this whole story yesterday. I had no idea she was having these conversations with this certain bus driver, right? And she's telling me, she's like, I love the guy. He's such a good guy. He's got 2 younger kids. Like, again, when my mom talks to people, she knows everything about them. Like, she learns everything about them. Like, again, everyone loves her because she's not just someone who's going to tell you all about herself and never ask questions. She's going to ask about you as well because she's genuinely concerned with people's well-being. So she's like, oh, he's got 2 kids. I think his son just turned 3. He's a good guy and everything, you know. But check this out. She's like, I get on that bus yesterday. And I say to him, like I always say, if he's my bus driver, what do you think of your president now? And that guy looked at me and he said, oh, I hate him. I hate him. I can't believe I didn't listen to you. I should have listened to you. The guy's a liar. This and that. And my mom was like, yeah, he is. And I told you that. And then the guy goes, I guess I'm just stupid. And my mom's like, no, you're worse than stupid. Listen, when I tell you my mom has always been this person, I can remember my mom saying to me, if you do that, you're going to hurt your foot. Don't be a dummy. You do something, you hurt your foot, you go cry like, Mom, I hurt my foot. She's like, I told you, you were a dummy. You know, that's just how she's always been. So she tells this guy, no, you're worse than stupid. And the guy just takes it. He's like, you're right. You're right. You know what? I should have listened to you. I should have listened to you. So I asked my mom, like, what was the tipping point for him? Like, because typically, and I'll give him this, the guy at least had the ability to say, I was wrong. Because you guys know these Magas. Most of them will not say they were wrong. Like, they will just continue with like, no, we love him. We love him. They look at all the things that are going wrong, the economy, all that, and they'll just say, we love him. So I'm like, Mom, what was the tipping point? She said, I asked him that. I said, what made you change? She's like, he's like, he's done nothing he said he was going to do. Groceries are still high. We're still giving a bunch of money over the overseas. He knew about soybean farmers and all this. I'm like, goodness, like, okay. Even though this gives me a little bit of hope, right? Because even though his vote was wasted and it's too late now, we got freaking this dude in the White House. At least maybe he won't make these mistakes again. Hopefully, like it gave me hope that, okay, there are some people out there who can make the mistake and then at least go back and look at things and say, yeah, I was duped. I was duped. And that's what he told my mom. He's like, I was duped. I can't believe I should have listened to you. And my mom was like, I told you, you should listen to me. I pay more attention to this stuff than anybody else. And it's funny because there have been times when my mom has said something to me and I'm like, where'd you see that? And she's like, well, I saw it on Facebook. And it's even like far left stuff that's propaganda. And I'll be like, Ma, that's propaganda. Some stuff you gotta look for better sources and stuff. You know, she's 74. And that's why I thought this guy was older, because I'm thinking, I can understand when older people are like on their phone, they see something, they see a headline, they see whatever, and they fall for it and stuff. But my mom will, like, for the most part now, like, look into things more. Like, when I have these conversations with her, I think about how my mom at 74 has, like, completely all her mental faculties. Like, you have a good, fun conversation with her about stuff, and it is freaking hilarious. And, I mean, and I think about this, too, like, you know, not to get like too like deep, but I take for granted sometimes that I get to have my mom live here with me. You know, like she lives here with me. She, you know, she's very, very independent. You know, she goes and watches her great granddaughters and grandson. She takes walks. She takes the bus places. She does a lot of things. She does not, like, she's very self-sufficient, very independent and everything like that. And I think sometimes we take that for granted. And like, I guess I'm telling you guys, like, call your mom and dad, like, talk to them more, like, sit down and have these, like, fun, important conversations with them, because that was, like, just so funny last night. You know, my wife and I were on our way out the door, and my mom starts telling this story, and my wife was upstairs, and then she came downstairs. I'm like, you got to hear the story that my mom just told me about this bus driver, right? And my wife dies laughing because, like, my mom's bluntness is like, that's not my wife. She's not that type of person, right? So when she hears that my mom was like, the bus driver's like, oh, I guess I'm stupid. And my mom's like, no, you're worse than stupid. Like, she's just like, ooh, you know? But it's just, I'm telling you guys, it is my mother 100%. And I just, you know, I've seen people struggle with like their parents getting sick and stuff like that and everything. And it's tough. And I know like, I'm not going to have these times all the time. And I think about this even with my daughters, they're not going to have me all the time. And I just, it just reminds me like not to take those things for granted and just enjoy it, because my mom she is a wealth of knowledge. Like, we're from New Orleans, Louisiana. So like my mom grew up, she's a little bit older than Ruby Bridges. Like, so my mom was around for segregation, desegregation, bus boycotts and all those types of things. So like having her tell me these stories with her like firsthand knowledge of it is absolutely awesome. And so have those conversations. If you with your parents and grandparents, if they're still around, like, don't take them for granted. And you just might hear like a cool story, like, this bus driver realized he was wrong. My mom told him he's worse than stupid. He took it. And I can imagine my mom will probably get on his bus in another couple of days and they'll have the conversation again. And my mom will do this. She will remind him over and over again that he should have listened to her. And so when you guys say things like, man, Coach D, sometimes you don't pull any punches, man. You go after these Magas and stuff. I get it from my mama. 100%. Thank you guys for listening. As always, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Please like, please share. Please do everything to help me grow this channel as much as I can. Because as always, I do this for you guys, and I really do appreciate you. Period.
Don't want no enemies or ops. Envy in their heart, I tell them stop. Vacation on the yacht.